The obsidian walls of the conclave hall shimmered with reflected light, a symphony of polished darkness that both amplified and swallowed the murmurs of the assembled delegates. A holographic projection of swirling nebulae, a celestial tapestry of colors, hung suspended in the center of the hall, casting an ethereal glow upon the gathering. Yet, despite the grandeur of the setting, an atmosphere of palpable unease permeated the chamber. The counselors, representatives of the galaxy's most powerful and ancient empires, shifted uneasily in their bioluminescent seats, their multifaceted eyes darting towards the designated podium, awaiting the pronouncements of the Supreme Arbiter. Even amongst them, some of the fiercest predators the galaxy had ever seen, the Krill, who usually exuded an aura of indomitable confidence, displayed a cautious uncertainty that was almost unprecedented. The subject of their deliberation, the newly discovered species from the remote spiral arm of the Milky Way, the tiny humans. They, who dared to call themselves humanity, had sent a vessel into their space, and now their very existence was a subject of heated debate and contention. The Supreme Arbiter, a towering being of crystalline structure from the planet Xylos, finally addressed the assembly, his voice resonating with a gravity that echoed through the vast chamber. The reports are unsettling, counselors. The probes dispatched to the Sol system have transmitted data that challenges our understanding of the universe. The emergence of this species presents a conundrum that demands immediate attention. Their technology is primitive, their lifespan fleeting, their size diminutive, yet their influence is undeniably disruptive. A wave of murmurs rippled through the hall. The Krill counselor, whose chitinous plates shifted with agitation, voiced his displeasure. Disruptive? They are an anomaly, nothing more, a fleeting flicker in the cosmic timeline. They are barely worthy of notice. The Arbiter inclined his head slowly, his crystalline features reflecting the projected nebula. Perhaps, Counselor Krill, but consider the data. Their behavior is unpredictable. They appear to be driven by concepts unknown to us, compassion, curiosity, and an almost reckless pursuit of knowledge. They have demonstrated an uncanny ability to adapt, to innovate, and to survive. The Krill counselor's mandibles clicked audibly. Survival is the primal instinct of all species. They are no different. They will either adapt or be consumed, a negligible outcome. The debate intensified. Each counselor, representing their respective empires, weighed in on the matter. Some, like the technologically advanced and stoic Cygnus, viewed the humans with detached curiosity, seeing potential for scientific advancement. Others, the notoriously xenophobic Zidonian, saw only a threat, a plague upon the galaxy that must be eradicated. The humans, the tiny humans, were the subject of fear, mockery, and intense debate. Their history is marked by internal conflict, by self-inflicted wounds, declared the Zidonian representative, his voice laced with disdain. They are prone to destruction. They are volatile. To allow them to interact with the greater galactic community is to invite chaos. A wave of nods rippled across the chamber. Humans, with their wars, their self-destruction, and their small size, were seen as a danger, a species too immature to be part of the interstellar community. The Arbiter, however, remained impassive. The question is not whether they are dangerous, but whether they are a threat. We, the oldest and most advanced species in the galaxy, should fear nothing. Instead, we should assess, understand, and if deemed necessary, guide. To eradicate them would be a premature judgment. He paused, his crystalline form seeming to absorb the weight of the Council's conflicting opinions. Before any action is taken, we must observe, we must learn. I propose a formal first contact. A delegation will be sent to the Sol system to gather further intelligence. The Krill, however, did not wait. Impatient with bureaucratic procedure, eager to test the mettle of these new arrivals, and seeing them as a threat to their own supremacy, the Krill had already dispatched a squadron of their warships. The Krill, known for their ruthlessness and martial prowess, had ruled the galaxy with an iron fist for millennia. They saw any new species as potential competition. Their war fleets, silent predators, moved through the void. They held an immense advantage. Weeks passed in agonizing anticipation. The delegates, the Krill, the Cygnus, the Zidonian, all waited. The holographic display of the Sol system, constantly updated with sensor readings, remained a static image of the human world, a blue and green sphere teeming with life. Nothing. Then the first reports began to trickle in. The Krill warships had entered the Sol system. The sensors detected a single, primitive vessel. Emerged from the asteroid belt. The humans had spotted the Krill warship. The news spread like wildfire throughout the Council. The Krill had engaged. They were the first to make contact, as they often did. The Council held its breath. The humans could not possibly have any chance against a Krill warship. They could only be crushed, and the reports coming in they were confusing. The Krill, a species known for its cold, brutal efficiency, met an unexpected resistance. The Krill began to report losses. The council chamber was now filled with stunned silence. The Krill counselor, usually radiating arrogance, was now a picture of suppressed fury. "Impossible," he hissed, his mandibles clicking with barely contained rage. "They are a primitive species, their weapons are archaic, their ships. They are incapable of causing such damage." He slammed his massive fist onto the armrest, the force of the blow reverberating through the hall. His face was a mask of disbelief. The Arbiter's crystalline form remained stoic, but within his complex internal structure, he analyzed and reanalyzed the sensor data. The humans were not behaving as predicted. The initial reports described a series of skirmishes. The Krill warships, superior in every measurable metric, had initiated their standard attack maneuvers. The humans responded, with surprising agility, with an unexpected understanding of tactics. The humans, despite their inferior weaponry, somehow managed to evade the Krill's attacks. They employed strategies previously unknown, maneuvering their tiny vessels with an intricate, almost intuitive understanding of spatial dynamics. The Krill, accustomed to swift, decisive victories, found themselves outmaneuvered, outgunned. Then came the first casualty reports. The Krill ships had begun to fall, not in massive explosions, but in a series of calculated, precise strikes. Human weaponry, though antiquated by galactic standards, proved remarkably effective. They had achieved a small victory. The humans had achieved the impossible. The hall was now a vortex of disbelief, intrigue, and growing anxiety. The Cygnus representative, its smooth, metallic surface reflecting the holographic display, spoke in its calm, synthesized voice. "Their weaponry, while primitive, appears to be exceptionally accurate. They are utilizing a multi-layered approach to target acquisition and combat. Their targeting systems show a level of sophistication unexpected from a species of such limited technological advancement." The Zidonian representative hissed. "They are using tricks, illusions. They cannot possibly be winning." The hall was filled with an uncomfortable tension. The reports intensified. The humans, with a handful of small vessels, were taking down Krill warships one by one. The Krill, known for their sheer firepower, were being systematically dismantled. The Krill ships did not merely explode. Instead, they were disabled. Human strikes seemed targeted towards critical systems, rendering them useless, not simply vaporizing the ships in one fell swoop. The council watched in stunned silence as the Krill forces, the pride of their empire, were being slowly, methodically humiliated. The Krill's reputation as the galaxy's ultimate predators was at stake. The Arbiter finally spoke, his voice cutting through the stunned silence. "This is unprecedented. We must analyze this situation with the utmost care. I order an immediate halt to all offensive actions. The Council of Xylos must intervene." He paused, his crystalline form seeming to focus on the holographic display on the tiny blue and green planet. "We will make contact, not as aggressors, but as observers." The Krill, however, did not heed the Arbiter's words. Driven by pride and unwilling to admit defeat, they sent in reinforcements. A larger, more formidable squadron, armed with experimental weaponry, was dispatched to the Sol system. It seemed the Krill wanted to eradicate their embarrassment. They wanted to crush the humans and reassert their dominance. The Council watched with dread as the new, superior force headed towards the Sol system. Days turned into weeks. The Council chambers became a pressure cooker of speculation and fear. The Krill's new squadron met the same fate as the first. The humans, with their limited resources, faced a far superior fleet, and yet they won. The humans' small ships, agile and cunning, avoided the deadly weapons. Their tactics showed a cunning unknown to other species. The Krill warships fell, one after another, their systems crippled, their crews incapacitated. The Council was dumbfounded. The Krill's war machine, the greatest the galaxy had ever known, was being broken by the humans. Their confidence, their aura of dominance, was destroyed. The Arbiter, after conferring with his inner council, made the announcement. "We will send a diplomatic envoy to the Sol system. We will meet with these humans. We will learn how they managed to achieve W. That seems impossible." The announcement was met with a mixture of relief and trepidation. The Council, after the destruction of the Krill war fleets, realized they needed to take a different approach. The humans were not simply a primitive species. They were something else, something that needed to be understood. The vessel designated the Arbiter's Witness set course for the Sol system. It was a vessel of unprecedented design, a symphony of Xylo's crystalline architecture, designed to reflect the beauty and complexity of the universe itself. The crew consisted of a carefully selected delegation. The Krill counselor was not included. The Cygnus representative, ever the pragmatist, was chosen to lead. A Zidonian representative was included to ensure the safety of the mission. The arbiter himself was not present. He would observe from afar. The witness arrived in the Sol system. They prepared for their first contact with the humans. As the ship approached Earth, the holographic display of the Earth's surface revealed a stunning sight. They saw a planet teeming with life, a vibrant blue and green sphere with swirling white clouds. They saw the cities, the oceans, the vast continents, the lush forests. They saw peace. The planet was not scarred by war. The cities were not destroyed. It was a world of breathtaking beauty. They detected the human space station, the primary means of contact. The humans responded to the signal with cautious optimism. The Cygnus representative, its metallic surface reflecting the light of the stars, extended a greeting to the humans. The first words, transmitted across the void, were the carefully chosen diplomatic phrase crafted by the Council to express the desire for peace and cooperation. The human response was immediate. The response was unexpected. Instead of apprehension, hostility, or even curiosity, the humans responded with calm, professionalism, and a sense of understanding. They spoke in a language no one had heard before, but which, to their surprise, the advanced technology of the witness translated. The humans, from their small station, welcomed the delegation. They were open to discussion. They were open to communication. The first human the Cygnus delegation met was Dr. Aris Thorne, a human scientist. He was of average size, dressed in a simple uniform with an inquisitive look in his eyes. He greeted them with a slight bow. He invited them to enter and to witness the beauty of humanity. "Welcome," he said, his voice calm and steady. "We are honored by your visit." The Cygnus representative, its internal processors racing to understand this new species, replied with a formal greeting. The Zidonian representative was still wary, his eyes darting back and forth. The humans, however, were not surprised. They knew from the very beginning that their first contacts would be an exercise in diplomacy and cultural sensitivity. The delegation was invited to explore the space station. They were shown the human technology. The delegation was surprised by the level of technology. It was not as advanced as they had thought, but it was efficient. They were shown the labs, the observation decks, and the living quarters. They were also introduced to other members of the human crew. They were all calm, intelligent, and eager to learn. The humans showed genuine interest in the delegation. They listened to their stories, asked questions about their culture, and shared their own. They were curious. They were open. They were not at all what the Council had expected. Over the next few days, the delegation and the humans engaged in a series of conversations. The delegation learned about human history, their philosophy, their values, their drive. They discovered that humans, despite their imperfections, were a species that valued life, knowledge, and exploration. The humans understood the importance of respect. They knew the value of peace. They were kind. The humans explained their actions, their strategies, their tactics. They explained their technological innovations. They had not been trying to destroy the Krill warships, but to disable them. They knew the importance of restraint. They knew the value of life. They were trying to preserve peace. Dr. Thorne, in a private conversation with the Cygnus representative, revealed a profound secret. "We knew the Krill were coming," he said, his voice low but steady. "We knew they were a threat, but we also knew we could not fight them with the same methods. We had to use their own aggression against them. We had to show them, through action, that violence is not always the answer." He then revealed a far greater secret. The reason we were able to cripple their ships without causing massive loss of life was simple. We hacked their ships, and we took control of their weapon systems. We could have destroyed the Krill fleet, but we didn't. The Cygnus representative was taken aback. The Zidonian representative gasped, his eyes wide. The humans had the power to destroy the Krill, and they had chosen not to. They chose peace. The humans had developed a system of defense unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. They had not built weapons of mass destruction, but weapons designed to disable their enemies. They had used non-lethal technology to defend themselves. They had, in a way, waged war without war. "Why?" asked the Cygnus representative, its metallic form gleaming in the artificial light. "Why did you not destroy the Krill fleet? Why did you show mercy?" Dr. Thorne smiled sadly. "Because we understand the importance of empathy," he replied. "We understand that every life has value. We also understand that true strength lies not in destruction, but in the ability to forgive. He paused, looking out the viewport at the Earth. We have made many mistakes in our history. We have fought many wars. We have seen much suffering. But we have also learned from our mistakes. We are striving to be better. We are striving for peace. The Zidonian, who had been sneering throughout the visit, had a change of heart. Why didn't you attack us? Why did you give us a second chance? Why didn't you kill us? Dr. Thorne paused. You are not our enemy. You are another species struggling to exist. Your aggression is a reflex born of fear. We hope that one day you will choose a better path. He looked at the delegation. We gave you a chance. We will give you a chance to see that there is something beyond war. Something beyond your primitive desires. Something beyond the pursuit of power. The delegation was profoundly affected. They had come to the Sol system with fear, but they left with respect. They had expected to meet a primitive species, but they encountered a people of profound wisdom and understanding. They had come to assess, to judge, but they left realizing they knew nothing. The humans had changed everything. The witness returned to the conclave hall. The Cygnus representative addressed the assembly, its synthesized voice filled with a newfound reverence. The humans are not what we thought. They are not a threat. They are something more. The Zidonian representative, humbled, was still unable to speak. The Krill counselor, still trying to digest the humiliation of their defeat, listened to their report with a mixture of disbelief and grudging respect. The humans, with their kindness, had defeated them. The delegation's report was presented to the council. It was a comprehensive analysis of human culture, technology, and philosophy. It was a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and their unwavering commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. It was a call for peace. The council debated the report for weeks. The old arguments, the fears, the prejudices all resurfaced, but the impact of the delegation's findings was undeniable. The humans, the tiny humans, had forced the council to reevaluate their understanding of the universe. They had shown them that true power lies not in conquest, but in cooperation. The Zidonian counselor, for the first time, spoke in support of the humans. They have changed. We must change as well. Finally, the arbiter, after conferring with the council, delivered the final verdict. We will extend an invitation to the humans to join the Galactic Council. We will offer them our full support. We will learn from them. The council, at last, accepted the wisdom of the humans. The Krill counselor, though still simmering with frustration, reluctantly agreed. The humans, the species that had mocked them, were now allies. The invitation was sent. The humans accepted. The council, representatives of the oldest and most advanced empires, eagerly awaited the arrival of the tiny humans, ready to offer them a place among them. The humans boarded a vessel of their own design, a sleek, efficient starship, and set course for the Galactic Council. This vessel, of course, was equipped with all the advanced technology needed for their journey. But it was not, as the other species believed, meant for war. It was meant for peace. The humans arrived. They were greeted with a formal ceremony. They were escorted to the council chamber. The representatives of the Galactic Council, the oldest and most powerful empires in the galaxy, gathered to meet them. The chamber was filled with anticipation. The humans, the species that had caused so much discussion and uncertainty, were finally among them. The humans entered the chamber. They were not arrogant. They were not condescending. They were simply calm. They took their place at the council table. Dr. Thorne stood before the assembly, the humans' official representative. He radiated a calm intelligence. He smiled. "We are honored to be here," he said. "We come in peace." The arbiter, his crystalline form glowing in the artificial light, addressed the assembly. "We welcome you, humans. We have learned much from your actions. We are grateful for your wisdom." The Cygnus representative, who had come to deeply respect the humans, added, "You have shown us that there is a better way. You have shown us the importance of understanding. You have shown us that even the smallest of species can have a profound impact on the galaxy." Dr. Thorne nodded. "We are but a small species, but we have much to offer. We believe in the power of knowledge, the importance of empathy, and the necessity of cooperation. We believe that we can build a better future together." He paused, looking at the representatives of the Galactic Council. "We are committed to peace. We are committed to understanding. We are committed to the future." The humans were welcomed into the Galactic Council, the first new species in millennia. They quickly established themselves as valued members. They shared their knowledge, their philosophy, their perspective. They began to implement changes to promote cooperation and to foster understanding between the different empires. They initiated the Unity Project, designed to foster peace, not war. The humans, the tiny humans, became a force for good. The Galactic Council, under the influence of the humans, thrived. The humans, despite their small size, became a dominant voice. They promoted peace, science, and the art of cooperation. They became a symbol of hope. The Galactic Council was, for the first time in its history, on the path to becoming truly unified. The galaxy was, for the first time, peaceful. Years passed. The alliance of humans and aliens prospered. Trade routes were established. Scientific collaborations were initiated. A golden age had begun. The humans, with their wisdom, had saved the galaxy, and the galaxy, in return, revered them. The Krill, though humbled, had become peaceful. Even the Zidonian, who once mocked them, became their allies. The humans had achieved peace. One day, while inspecting a derelict space station, a mission led by Dr. Thorne, a hidden message was found. It was an ancient signal, an encoded transmission from a civilization that predated the oldest empires in the galaxy. The signal was received. The message contained a warning, a prophecy of a cataclysmic event that threatened the entire galaxy. An ancient, cosmic entity, a being of unimaginable power and destruction, was awakening. This being, the humans quickly realized, was the origin of all the destruction, of all the hate, of all the conflict that had plagued the galaxy for millennia. The humans, with their incredible intellect and their thirst for knowledge, quickly decoded the signal. The reality they uncovered was terrifying. The cosmic entity was not something that could be reasoned with, nor be defeated with weapons. It was a force of pure destruction. It was an existential threat. The Council was shocked. They had created peace and were now confronted with a threat that could destroy everything. The humans were the only ones who knew how to combat it. The humans, with their infinite wisdom, offered a solution. The solution was unlike anything ever imagined. Instead of building weapons, they proposed understanding. They proposed empathy. They proposed peace. They proposed that the entity could be defeated with the same methods they used to beat the Krill. They began to teach the Council the art of diplomacy, the art of peace, the value of life. The Council at first was skeptical. Could peace, understanding, empathy truly defeat a cosmic entity of unimaginable power? But the humans convinced them. The humans, with their intelligence, their kindness, their patience, changed their minds. The humans taught them everything. And so the Galactic Council, under the leadership of the humans, prepared to confront the threat. They began to engage in a series of rituals, a series of meditations, a series of acts of compassion designed to pacify the entity. They worked together. The cosmic entity emerged. The entity was not deterred. The entity, though powerful, could not stand against the combined power of the Galactic Council. The humans taught them to be strong, not through violence, but through their kindness. The humans, with their wisdom, gave them strength. The humans, with their infinite wisdom, created a force to bring balance to the universe. A force unlike any seen before. The entity was weakened, and the humans, with their infinite wisdom, made the final move. They engaged the entity. They showed compassion. They showed empathy. They shared their wisdom. They showed peace. The cosmic entity did not respond with violence. It responded with something no one could have predicted. The entity changed. It understood the humans. It understood the Galactic Council. It chose peace. The galaxy was saved. The humans, the tiny humans, the species that the Council had mocked, had saved the universe. And their greatest triumph lay not in the defeat of an enemy, but in the creation of peace. They had shown the universe that true power lies not in conquest, but in cooperation. They had set an example for all the galaxy to follow. The Galactic Council, stronger and more unified than ever before, stood together, the human, the Cygnus, the Zidonian, the Krill, all united. They looked out into the vast expanse of the cosmos, into the endless possibilities that lay before them. The future of the galaxy, a future of peace, understanding, and prosperity, was now in their hands. The humans had saved them. The Arbiter, his crystalline form reflecting the light of the distant stars, looked at Dr. Thorne, the human representative. "You have done more than save the galaxy," he said. "You have shown us what it means to be truly alive." Dr. Thorne simply smiled. "It's what humans do," he said. "We build, we learn, we love, and we never give up." He looked at the assembly. "We have a long way to go, but we have made a start." He paused, looking at the distant stars. "The universe is vast, the possibilities are endless, and the future is ours." He then added another shocking declaration. "We, the humans, have been receiving the same signal the aliens had received for centuries. We have been preparing for this day, and now we are ready." He smiled. "We are ready to explore, we are ready to learn, we are ready to meet the unknown." The humans had a future to explore. They would not be bound by space. They were a beacon of hope, leading the way for all the civilizations that had ever existed. They were ready. The galaxy looked upon them in wonder.